Oho residents have been allowed in to see what's left of their village after fires ripped through over the weekend. A bus convoy left shortly after midday from the makeshift welfare centre in Twizel. It's the first time they've been able to access the charred remains of their slice of paradise in the Mackenzie Basin. Meanwhile, 11 helicopters and 8 ground crews have been fighting the fire, battling against strong gusty winds and warm temperatures. Tess Brunton is in Twizel and filed this report.
Seeing the damage firsthand, Lake Oho residents were allowed to return to their village today to see the devastation fires have caused. 3 buses took residents in, the first time they were allowed back into the area since fleeing early on Sunday morning. Until now, some people haven't even known if their homes survived. The sad confirmation that so many haven't, made clear today. Janet Brown couldn't sleep as the winds howled through Lake Oho in the early hours of Sunday morning. Then a siren split the air.
I heard a siren, which I'd never heard before, and I knew something was not right. And our windows faced straight out. We've got these 2 big, sliding windows that looked out to the mountains, and it was all ablaze. It was orange, the whole sky, and it was very close. It was our neighbours across the way. They were on fire, and I ran and woke everybody up.
They were all packed to fly out for Auckland the next day, so chucked their bags in the boot and fled. Some residents tooted on their way out to raise the alarm to other residents. Janet turned around to see the village on fire and still can't quite believe everyone made it out alive. 3 buses carrying residents travelled to see the damage, surrounded by ridges and valleys stained black. Janet Brown knows their house, their labour of love, is gone.
It's our only home. We don't own a home. This is it. We built it with our own hands. We lived in caravans with our children and built it. We spent 3 years building it. Our hearts and souls went into it. Our kids call it home. It's all gone, everything. We don't have another home, but we're lucky we live in Auckland, so we've got jobs and we've got a place to live.
Even before she left, she was bracing for what her family would see.
A bomb site, pretty much. It's, I think 50% of the houses have gone, are uninhabitable. And you can imagine all the gardens and the trees and everything's gone. It looks like, I've seen a photograph, it looks like a nuclear bomb has gone off. It's just flattened everything. She
and her family plan to rebuild there one day. 79-year-old Chris Spires, whose son co-owns the barn at Killen B&B, woke to a phone call early Sunday morning. It was another resident telling him to get out. Soon, another resident arrived at his house, also instructing him to leave.
And then it was getting out, getting the animals, some cats and a dog and the photographs, putting them in. And I decided that I would rescue my Jeep and leave my car. And that's when I got stuck on a tree stump and couldn't get out.
As he got stuck, the out-of-control flames were raging nearby.
I had to pad the foot and come out and climb up a bank, and the fire was sort of licking my backside. Yeah, so then the fire brigade man found me crawling up the grass, and so then I was bundled into the fire engine and taken out.
Conservation Minister Eugenie Sage and Civil Defence Minister Pene Henare visited the village earlier today to see the damage.
Just seeing cars that have had their tyres completely melted, that are shells, bunk bed frames and houses that are completely gone, and just people having to come to grips with that and the grief and the loss of houses, possessions and memories.
By early afternoon, the fire had burnt through 4,600 hectares across 41 kilometres. About 1,900 is conservation estate. Fire and Emergency are confident they will be able to control half of the fire perimeter by tomorrow night. Civil Defence Minister Pene Henare says the fire has no rhyme or reason, with some houses escaping damage while the ones next door were ravaged by flames. He announced $100,000 to help the relief efforts, but wouldn't say exactly where the money would be spent.
Oh, look, that's entirely up to the council and the mayor here who are working with the people on the ground. I think it's important that the local government and those people locally in the community have the opportunity to put that money to best use and not from central government direction.
He doesn't rule out giving more funding in the future if it's needed, but for now, residents are left to pick up the pieces left behind. In Twizel for Checkpoint, Cortes Brunton, Tēnei.